Yeah. I'd like to start the Tumwater Civil Service Commission meeting. It's 5:30 on February 13th. Appreciate everybody that's in attendance. I'm Blake Chard, newly elected chairman of the commission. So to have others introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Commissioner Schneider.
Michelle Sutherland, Secretary Examiner.
Brian Hurley, Fire Chief.
Jim Mason, Deputy Chief, Police Department.
Sean Crimmins, Deputy Chief, Fire Department.
Okay. Do we have any changes to the agenda proposed?
I do have one change. We would like to add a 13.5. We have a battalion chief eligibility list we'd like to add as a change to the agenda.
Okay, without objection, we'll update or change the agenda to add that item.
Thank you.
Okay, approval of the minutes. Any comments or questions?
No?
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move that we approve the minutes of the January 9th meeting.
I'll second that motion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll now review the eligibility list update.
Go to the eligibility list here. Sorry for the quick scrolling. So we do have the status of all of our civil service eligibility lists noted here. We had a battalion chief eligibility list slated for expiration this month in February. That is our addition to the agenda, is 13.5 to request an extension. We have a new fire lieutenant promotional listing. We have several others that are active and continuous. We have a new paramedic lieutenant listing you'll be looking at this evening. And the police officer entry and lateral are also active continuous listings. No other updates there.
Any questions or comments?
No?
Okay, I have none. I'll entertain a motion to approve the list.
I'll move that we approve the list.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, I think the next item is entry-level police officer list.
Yes, we have a continuous listing updated this month, February of 2025. We have 6 additions to the list, and we have no one that was removed from the list. So we've got 25 candidates asking for approval for this February 2025 list for the police officer entry level.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
No, and congratulations on the robust list.
I'll second both the motion and the comment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Now go to the fire lieutenant entry level list.
Yes, so we've got a fire lieutenant entry level list. This is a new list for us. We have 9 candidates placed on this list. seeking approval for this to continue and be available through February of 2026.
Any questions or comments?
No?
Okay, entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the list.
Well, second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Move on to the paramedic lieutenant entry level.
Similarly, for this list, we have this entry-level list for February of 2025, good until February of 2026, with 3 candidates that were just added to this list and seeking approval for the paramedic lieutenant entry level.
I have a observation question. The 3 on the paramedic lieutenant are also on the previous list, fire lieutenant.
Sure. I can, this is Chief Early, I can comment on that. The way we do our lieutenant testing is that all candidates, whether they want to be a fire lieutenant or a paramedic lieutenant, have to enter through the firefighter lieutenant testing process. That's where we do a tactical employee assessments and what have you. So the next step for those who wish to be considered for paramedic lieutenant, then take an additional oral board, basically. So all of the candidates have to be qualified to be a fire lieutenant because they may end up working on the fire engine in that role. So inevitably, the paramedic lieutenant candidates are also going to be on the fire lieutenant list.
All right, appreciate the explanation. Any questions or comment?
No?
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the paramedic lieutenant entry-level list.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, so we have the paramedic firefighter list.
Yes, we do have a paramedic firefighter list. The examination date showing December 2024 with an approval date of February 2025, and this is a continuous listing.
Yeah, and I just want to make a comment on this one because you see at the bottom it says removed in error. And this was kind of an oversight on my part, I think. At the last meeting, we had removed several other candidates from this list, and inadvertently, these candidates were also removed, and they should not have been. They should remain on the list through December 2025. So it was just an oversight that we asked staff to correct.
Appreciate that. Any questions, Commissioner Schneider?
No questions, and thanks for the clarification.
I'll move that we approve the paramedic firefighter list.
And I second that motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now we go into the extension of probationary period extension.
Yes, we're asking that the commission approve the city's request to extend firefighter Christian Metzler to end after his shift on September 19th, 2025. He was hired in May, as the background states, suffered an injury while in academy.
Yes.
And subsequently was off for a period of time until returning on light duty. So the department feels it's in their best interest to extend his probationary period to account for the time that he missed acting in his position.
Yeah, and I'll just add that ideally, we like to see our candidates working in a probationary role for a year, basically. So when folks are off on leave or other circumstances come up, that they're off for an extended period of time, it's not uncommon for us to ask for an extension of the probationary period.
Any questions, Commissioner Schneider?
The only question I would have is during this probationary period, if he's unable to perform some duties, are other staff members then picking up his responsibilities in the interim?
Yeah, if yes, if he's was scheduled to be part of our minimum staffing, which is currently 11 on duty per day, then yes, that shift would have to be backfilled. Oftentimes with somebody on overtime. But with that said, when he did return on light duty, even though he wasn't able to respond in capacity as a firefighter, there were many other projects and items related to his probation that he was able to work on.
So as far as the burden on the department, what type of burden does this place on the department, or is it fairly minimal?
Well, I guess the burden would just be in his time off, unable to work full shifts, is we have to cover that oftentimes with overtime. Again, not uncommon to have folks out for extended periods, whether it's birth of a child, injuries, and other reasons. In all those cases, we have to maintain our minimum staffing.
And so this really hasn't placed an undue burden on the department?
Well, anytime our staff is out, I wouldn't call it an undue burden. It's just really part of doing business in our industry. Is we're not overstaffed to the point where we can take people off duty and not feel an impact for that.
Mm-hmm.
So this single incident wasn't an undue impact. It was just really something we periodically have to deal with.
Okay. All right. I don't
Okay.
have any further questions.
All righty, thank you for those. We don't need a vote on this, do we? Oh, yeah, we do.
Yes.
I move that we approve the extension of the probationary period as presented.
And I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now we go to the public safety testing.
Yes, so the public safety testing notified the city and all other entities in the state that uses their services that it's transitioning to a new exam for officers effective March 1st, 2025. So they have a transition plan. The new test is going to be different from the old test. However, they are recommending that that the city of Tumwater continues using their existing eligibility list for police officers until it expires or is fully exhausted. And then meanwhile, when the new test starts March 1st and we get scores from that listing, both tests can run concurrently until the old list expires. Did you have any questions regarding that process?
The only question I had is, how is the new test different from the old test?
Let's see. So the new test, they're transitioning to the Guardian Selection Inventory, or the GSI. And it says it's designed to evaluate a broader range of essential traits for success in modern public safety roles, providing an improved evaluation of candidate suitability for those positions. So just an update to their testing process and procedure that is updated, for today's policing.
And the only thing I
And
would
is
add
that
to that, oh, good. Sorry, Commissioner.
no, I was just saying, and is that to bring the testing standards there more in line with, let's say, some of the other police departments, such as Olympia, Lacey, et cetera?
No, the public safety testing provides testing materials for probably the majority of our state. So they are already in line with that. I just, as with anything else, once you've been delivering a test for a period of time, you evaluate it against changes in the industry, and it needs to be updated from time to time. I mean, police work today is not the same as police work was 5-10 years ago. And so they're just changing the standards, the testing standards, to kind of update some of the entry level requirements. So I can't give you a specific on what they've changed, but I do know it's not uncommon to update the testing process within an industry as the industry grows and matures.
Okay, thank you.
And is it the same company that generates these two tests, or?
Yeah, I mean, public safety testing, they proctor the test. I don't know if they create the test themselves or they work with another company, but they're the ones that validate it and oversee it.
Okay.
It's the same company we've been using their system, their process for, gosh, at least 20 years. It's been a long time since we've proctored our own test.
Okay.
And would it be possible for me to get a copy of both the old and the new test just for my own edification?
I don't believe they would release it.
They don't.
Just
They
like
don't?
it'd be like
Okay.
releasing like an LSAT or something like that. They don't want
Okay.
it out.
They don't want that out. Okay.
No, I don't have access to it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was just curious how the new test was different from the old test, but I'll
Sure.
do some internet research on it and get a good idea, I'm sure.
Okay. Do we need a vote on this, or was this information?
I'm fine.
You don't need to vote on this one. This was an informational item for discussion, just so you were aware that PST changed their testing
Okay.
process.
Okay.
Okay, thank
I
you.
figured so, but I just wanted to make sure. So we can move on to item 12, which is updated position descriptions for the executive assistant based on our last meeting's request.
Yes, we are seeking approval for the reclass of the administrative assistant in fire to executive assistant, and we've presented an updated class spec position description for your review. So asking for approval for the reclassification.
Do you have any questions, Commissioner Snyder?
No, I just want to make a comment as I, forwarded the email to you, Blake. I compared the updated executive assistant job description with the former administrative assistant job description, and I found that the revised EA JD was much more clear, and it more clearly defined the higher level of executive level support, policy development, and departmental leadership for the executive assistant versus the admin assistant. So I appreciate the updated job description and the efforts that were done to upgrade that and send that to us. And at this point, I have no further questions or discussion points.
Okay. With that, I will move that we approve the new job description for the fire department executive assistant. All those in favor say aye. Oh, second. I'll need a second.
I second that motion.
Okay, those vote for say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. So now we go to 13.
For 13, we do have a fire department training lieutenant testing plan. That's something that they would like to put in place on February 14th, the job posting, and closing February 25th. We do have candidate screening, which is step 2, followed by the oral board. And I do know that Deputy Chief Crimmins is available if you have any questions regarding this process.
It's very similar with your other testing plans at that level, doesn't it?
That is correct.
I'll just add, this has come about because our current training Lieutenant John Kaler has announced his retirement. He'll be leaving the fire department at the end of I think at the end of February. So we certainly wish him well, but it's created a need for us to fill our very important training position within the fire department.
Okay. Any questions, Commissioner Snyder?
No, I have no questions.
Okay, with that, I will move to approve the firefighter lieutenant testing plan.
And I second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No opposition. Motion passes. I'm getting the groove from previous years. Okay, 13.1. Is that right?
Yes, we can do that as 13.1. I'm just going to share my screen and bring up the battalion chief. Okay, so this is the battalion chief eligibility list. I'm asking to extend this list to February of 2026.
I can speak to it. Commissioners, we're just bringing this to you as an extension. This test was originally done approved in March of 2024. We're on a cycle now where we basically each year alternate doing a battalion chief test and a fire lieutenant test. So if we still have candidates on the list, and we do in this case, our preference is to go ahead and extend the list. We don't anticipate any openings in this position, but certainly would like to have the list available if we did. So, so yes, we're asking to extend the existing list for another year.
Okay. I have no questions. Any questions, Commissioner Snyder?
I have no questions.
Okay. I would move that we approve the battalion chief list as presented.
And I second the motion to approve the list as presented.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Let me get back to my top of my list.
Yeah. And we're at item 14, updates.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Oh, listen to the police. They haven't said much.
Not much.
Thanks, Commissioner Chard. I appreciate this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you for picking us above the fire department for once. That's cool.
It's good to see you at the basketball game.
Yes, sir. So we have a few things going on at the police department. In case you hadn't been notified, Chief Wicks has announced his retirement.
I just saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, 37 years with the City of Tumwater Police Department, and he's going to be retired effective at the end of this month. And so our organization is just preparing to move forward and try to fill that role as best as we can and fill other roles as best as we can. Yesterday we had a sergeant's exam, the assessment center. You approved the plan in December. We were able to post this yesterday. It was a good opportunity for 7 of our officers to test for the sergeant position. And you'll see the results of that to be certified with your next meeting. But that was a really good turnout for us. And then additionally, just an update for you is we have currently 5 officers, new hires in process. We have 1 waiting to go to the academy, 1 who's a lateral that's waiting to go to the lateral academy, and we have 3 that are just completing the hiring process, new hires. So we're really excited to bring on 5 new officers. So it's probably, this period of time has been the most onboarding that we've done in my time with the agency, and we're getting really high quality candidates, and we're really excited for what they're going to bring to our organization going forward.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Well done.
Well, I'll follow up on some of the same themes. This month, actually in January, we had our fire lieutenant test that was approved tonight, and we were very pleased with the number of candidates who are interested in taking the test. We've had a lot of new hires over the last 5 years, and a lot of those hires are maturing into excellent firefighters and paramedics ready to take on leadership roles now. So we're excited to see that. And I mentioned earlier our training lieutenant retirement. Lieutenant Kaler has been a pretty integral part of our organization for many years, but he's just decided it's time for him and his family for him to step back from the fire service, and we're going to actually have a little send-off for him here in the next couple weeks. I'll just mention also, continuing on the theme of onboarding and hiring, we've had our group of paramedics who we had hired in anticipation of staffing the new medic unit at the end of this year. It was a group of 10, and they've all, with the exception of one, have been at the Advanced Life Support Academy. It's kind of a medical academy where we get them fully up to speed on Thurston County protocols. And that academy will be done on February 20th. 5 of those candidates will come back to us, basically, and we'll get them onboarded as part of minimum staffing. And these were the lateral candidates. These were the people with fire experience that we don't need to send to academy. So within probably a couple of weeks, we'll have them up to speed, and they'll be part of minimum staffing, which will help us significantly. The other 5 are heading off to the South Sound Recruit Academy, which is sponsored by Lacey Fire District 3. So they're going to go through a 16-week academy and won't be back until towards the end of June to finish their onboarding at that point. So yeah, much like police, a lot going on, a lot of onboarding, a lot of new faces. At this point, I can still remember everybody's name, which is good. But we're very excited.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep, I don't have any updates this evening.
Okay, well, the next meeting we have to schedule for the 13th of March. Is there any concerns with that by anybody?
No?
Okay. All righty. If there's no further comments or things to be discussed, without objection, I will adjourn the meeting. We
And
are
I
in
will
adjournment. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Goodbye.
Think so. Let me leave the meeting.